Sorry, the mail boat from the mainland was delayed.
They're the visitors' Sunday school. I'm busy this evening, but the station master says I can ask you to take the children home. Well done, Percy. You kept your promise, despite everything. Toby feels left out. It was springtime on the island of Sodor. All the engines were working hard in the sunshine. One morning, Sir Topham Hatt arrived at Timot's sheds. He had exciting news. He announced. Asked Percy. Huffed Gordon. All the engines were very pleased. Later that morning, Toby met James at Knapford Station. Puffed James. Said Toby. Chuffed James, and he steamed away. That night, Toby couldn't sleep. He kept worrying about what James had said. He wondered. By the next morning, Toby thought he knew the answer. He met Thomas at Abbey Station. Asked Toby. Puffed Thomas excitedly. Huffed Toby sadly. Thomas wasn't so sure. Asked Thomas helpfully. Toby looked worried. He was frightened of what Sir Topham Hatt might say. Puffed Thomas. And he chuffed away. Toby thought for a moment. Said Toby. Toby arrived at Timot's sheds. Sir Topham Hatt was talking to Emily. Said Sir Topham Hatt. Emily was very happy. Said Sir Topham Hatt. Said Toby quickly. Smiled Sir Topham Hatt, and before he could say anything else, Toby steamed off. He didn't want Sir Topham Hatt to tell him he was going to be put in a museum. Toby waited impatiently at the flour mill. He wished. When Toby delivered the flour, he saw Sir Topham Hatt standing on the dockside. He was talking to the dockmaster. Sir Topham Hatt saw Toby. He wanted to speak to him, but Toby steamed off as fast as he could. Later, Toby saw Thomas again. He was pulling Annie and Clarabelle. Chuffed Thomas happily. Said Toby. Tooted Thomas. So Toby pulled Annie and Clarabelle on Thomas's branch line, and while James was getting a shiny new coat of red paint, Toby collected coal cars from the mines for James. And while Percy was having his repaint, Toby shunted freight cars full of stone in the quarry for Percy. Even though it was a dusty, hard job, at last, Toby had finished. He was very tired and very dirty. Suddenly, he saw Sir Topham Hatt, waiting by the track. Toby still didn't want to speak to Sir Topham Hatt. Quickly, he reversed into a siding. He didn't see that the big rock had fallen on the line. He cried. Luckily, no one was hurt, but Toby's axles and his cowcatchers were broken. He couldn't move. Sir Topham Hatt hurried over. He asked. Toby said sadly. Asked Sir Topham Hatt. Sir Topham Hatt smiled. Toby felt very happy. He let out a great whoosh of steam. Added Sir Topham Hatt. Toby smiled. He felt very silly. So Toby's axle and cowcatchers were repaired, and then he was polished until he looked good as new. On the day of the museum opening, Toby picked up the visitors at the docks, and he puffed proudly to the new museum. Toby was proud to be old, and he was even prouder to be the only really useful steam tramp on the island of Sodor.